Shalom. Call Hello Yamla Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Hakodash. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Hakodash Bahasham, Yahweh Shai Bahasham, Hakodash. Shalom and double honors unto the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. I just want to go into a quick video entitled, He is about to be dishonorably discharged out the earth. And that phrase, dishonorable discharge, is a military phrase, right? When a soldier in the army, commits an offense that's, it's like basically like what would be, quote unquote, a capital offense of a soldier to commit inside of his serving in the military, right? And that's the worst way that a soldier can be discharged, and that brings shame upon him, for that discharge. So right here it says a dishonorable discharge is handed down for an offense the military considers the most reprehensible conduct. So it's the worst it's the worst crime that a military soldier can commit in the service. This type of discharge may be rendered only by conviction at a general court martial for serious offenses. Example, desertion, sexual assault, murder, etc. So those are the top, military capital offenses, in which they are also offenses in life in general, right? And we know that Edom, the so-called white man, he has done the most dishonorable, wicked sins and deeds the Most High has said not to do, and he only waxed worse and worse and increasing it, right? So with that, he'll be dishonorably discharged out the earth, because in the Zondervan Pictorial Bible Dictionary, even Edomite, so-called white biblical scholars that are carnal, they went and they're scholars, and they search out the historical sites referenced in the Bible, to prove and confirm everything the Bible said, because they are unbelievers, right? Even in that Zondervan Bible Dictionary, they say the definition for Esau Edom, he's the only neighbor of the Israelites that are not guaranteed salvation. That's not guaranteed mercy from that's not guaranteed mercy. So meaning they worded it nicely, but basically they're the only nation that will not receive mercy from the Most High, because they must be judged, and they're going to be judged very harshly, for their crimes against the Most High, the blasphemy against the Most High, and Yahushua and the Holy Spirit, and his holy and the evil crimes against his chosen nation, the apple of his eye, the Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians. So we'll start here, and it's in Obadiah chapter 1 and 10. His sins has reached unto the heavens. He has the worst rap sheet in the history of mankind, so-called white race. So Obadiah 1 and 10, for thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee. So who's Jacob? The Israelites, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, the northern and southern kingdom, right? Raped, robbed, and murdered us, and still have us in captivity until this day. And while the other nations are just eating off of our backs, with the so-called white man. Shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. And we saw in that picture that soldier had his head sunk in his hands. That's how they feel when they get dishonorably discharged, because now they have shame will cover them and possibly their household as well, right? And then same thing. That's why shame is going to cover him. He's going to become his sins will testify against him, and he's going to become he's going to bear that shame and that dishonorable that stigma, which is the beginning phases of that dishonorable discharge, because now he's being made, that man of sin is being revealed, and shame is covering him right now, leading up to his punishment. His rights are being read, and then The Most High, he in the spiritual court of the Most High, the infinite righteous judge of truth, you know, the Most High power Yahweh, and he's going to send his right arm, his son, Yahweh Shai, to execute that in its totality in the flesh. You know, it's not my words, it's the Holy Scriptures. And thou shalt be cut off forever. In verse 10 here, at the end of verse 10, and thou shalt be cut off forever. So that's a pretty intense judgment, you know. Shall be cut off forever. Why? Because of his violence against his brother. Because Jacob and Esau was what? In the same womb. They twin brothers, but they're totally different people. Two different nations, as Genesis 25 speaks about. Somewhere around the 23rd verse, if I'm not mistaken. But reading on, next precept, we'll go to Romans 9 and 21. Hath not the potter power over the clay? That's the Most High power. He's the potter. He created these. We're in clay vessels, you know, come from the ground, come from the dirt, clay. The Most High has power over us, right? So hath not the potter power over the clay of the same lump to make one vessel unto honor and another unto dishonor? And when you get the context of this chapter, when you read verse 13, Jacob, verse 13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. Esau has the Most High hated, you know, because of his crimes and his wickedness against the Most High and the Israelites, you know, and the Messiah, you know, chiefly above the Israelites, right? Because he crucified the Messiah, you know, the Romans, the Edomites. So the Israelites, we are the vessels of honor because we have been cleaned up, cleansed from our blood that dirtied us and defiled us, right? Ezekiel chapter 16 speaks about that. The Most High gave us his covenant and cleansed us. You know, we've been washed with the blood of the Messiah now. And let's see. And then that vessel of dishonor, that's Esau, because he does everything with dishonor, you know, is doing everything opposite of the Holy Scriptures, the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. And he doesn't have faith. He's a carnal man. He gets everything through his trust in his own hands and not the Most High. But the Most High allowed him to do this only for a season, because this is the Most High's play, and we're living it out, and we can't begin to comprehend, you know, everything and how and why the Most High, you know, has it set up like this. But that's just how it is. We have the script, which is the Holy Scriptures, and we read it and follow it and be patient and have faith and hope, you know, that we'll be saved out of this amazing story the Most High has created, called life that we live. So Ezekiel 35 and verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, perpetual meaning never ending, ongoing. And that's why the Most High hates Esau, you know, his perpetual hatred and wickedness towards the Most High, and, you know, towards the Most High, towards the Messiah and his Holy Spirit, and against his chosen nation, and has shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You know, the Most High had a certain period, you know, for us to get punished by the heathen, beginning with Esau. And our punishment was, over. You know, we had received our punishment, but Esau, he'll never end, because he's just death and hell, because death never can have enough. In verse 6, therefore, as I live, saith the Most High power Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sit thou, which that means, since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You see, he loved chasing with the sword and never putting it down. And so the sword's going to pursue him, and it's pursuing him now, you know. Iran fighting the Israelis, the little hats, and, you know, all of these wars going on now, at the same time. And that's the beginning, and it's going to continuously go. because of his crimes, and that's leading up to him being dishonorably discharged out the earth because of his evil deeds. Verse 7. Thus will I make Mount Seir, and Mount Seir, that's the like Mount Zion represents Israel, Mount Seir represents Esau Edom. And just for proof, to prove all things, Seir right there, boom. Hairy or shaggy, because that's why they shave, because they'll look like Bigfoot if they don't, right? So right here, patriarch of the Orites, but Esau went over there and took over that land, and that became his mount. It says the inhabitants of Edom before the descendants of Esau, the Edomites. But okay, it says the land of Edom, south of the Dead Sea. So just like the Israelites, we went in there and took over the homeland. We kicked out the Canaanites and those Hamites, and took that land. Same, that's what Esau did to that land over there. Kicked those Hamites out over there, and took Mount Seir, as we took Jerusalem, the city of peace. So Book of Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator, and we know Esau, he's the chief fornicator spiritually and physically, or a profane person, and we know profane is offensive to that which is holy, and that's the Most High. Or a profane person, that's Esau, because he went inside the temples and was very wicked inside the temple of the Lord. Can read about that in the book of 1st and 2nd Maccabees. He's a very wicked person, a very blasphemous, very profane person. As Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. For ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected. Most High he was put by the Most High, meaning rejected. And that's in that's in the book of I think 2nd Ezra. For he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. You see, that's Esau. He's he's the only fornicator and profane person. He's the top wicked, and the Most High is letting you know this. And the spirit if the spirit dealing with you, you can plainly see that. It's plain math actually. Let's see. Put by. Boom. Oh man. Okay. 2nd Ezra 3 and 16. And unto him thou gavest Isaac, and unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. See, that's the two brothers that was in the womb of Rebekah. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee, that we're the apple of the Most High's eye, the chosen nation. The Most High chose us, the chosen nation. And put by Esau, and that word, put by, that's an ancient word meaning, rejected. And we just read that he was rejected in Hebrews 12 and 17. And so Jacob became a great multitude. We're going to be fruitful and multiply and be as the sand of the sea. You can't number the sand in the sea, right? So that's us. See, because Esau, they're dying off more than they're being born. Their seed is spoiled. Oh, that's flow smoothly with this one right here. I think it's 48 maybe. No. Okay, yeah. Jeremiah 49 and 10. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. His main secret places is his witchcraft and sorcery on the left-hand side, with the little hats that, with the Hollywood and music and the media. They say secret places. They're high places. They do that. They do divination. They practice Satanism and everything, divining and that warlock witchcraft and sorcery. You can only imagine the secret areas that they have, of the wicked elites, where they practice these evil practices on the left-hand side. And everyone understand, everyone is starting to realize, that's what they be doing and who the wicked is. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled. See, that's that seed being spoiled. they die off more than they are being born. They can't reproduce and they're not being fruitful and multiply. They're actually dying more than they're being born, because, and then they're being ravished by all of these wicked end time philosophies and ways, and then the opioid drug epidemic, that methamphetamine, that crystal meth, they addicted to that, and a lot of them dying off and just strung out on that. And then the Rainbow Alphabet Coalition, that's taking a lot of their men, and then they're not having children even that by those means as well. And then they just not Esau, his seed, he's always been the weaker vessel, and he can't reproduce like Jacob can, and so that's why his seed is spoiled. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not. See his brethren going into all their tribes, throughout, the British ones, Spaniards, the French, the Russians, all of them, they're all plagued because they're all Edomites, Germans, all of these different names, Australians, all these different South Africans, keep coming to me, but all these different names they're going by, they're all Edomites, That's just all his brethren, all of them are, all of their seed spoiled, Now we'll go to Baruch 4, and this is a master class of judgment. The Most High, He saved His most beautiful, intricate judgment for the profane nation, the Edomites, so-called white race, and this is the beginning phases of them being dishonorably discharged out the earth for their dishonorable wickedness and deeds and profanity and blasphemy. So Baruch, where we at? Baruch 4 and 31. Slocky. Verse 31. Miserable are they that have afflicted thee. See, Esau, Edom, they're miserable. That's a hell of a burden. It's a movie called, I forget, something, White Man's Burden or something like that. Go into their burden. But their burden is, all this blood that's on their hands. They can't get off. And Numbers 35:33 says what's going to happen, what can only happen with shed blood, innocent shed blood, murder, when you murder someone. It's karma. Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. You see, because they rejoiced at our fall, and we'll get that real quick. When the southern kingdom fell from, because when we fell to the Babylonians and during the time of Nebuchadnezzar in the ancient times, the Hamites, we had the Edomites in subjection, and then they were cheering and rooting for our downfall when the Babylonians was taking us down. Psalms 137 and verse 7. Remember, O Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, race it. Just think of that word erase, when you erase something. So Esau, they was cheering on like cheerleaders when the Babylonians was taking us down and to take us into captivity. Who said, race it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon. See, Edom, they're the daughter of Babylon, and now this is Babylon the Great. The daughter of Babylon grew into Babylon the Great. That serpent from the garden, same spirit in the serpent from the garden, is morphed into that red dragon in Revelation 12, and then it's spoken of in, is it 12? It's like it real quick. Let me finish this verse. O daughter of Babylon, who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. Because Andrew Jackson, I believe it was Andrew Jackson, the president, of the U.S., took our Native American Indian, so-called Native American Indian brothers, doing the Trail of Tears, the tribe of Gad and Reuben, took the babies and then snatched them from the mothers during the Trail of Tears. You can look this up. It's Google. It's public information. You can easily look it up. Grab the children by the feet and slam their heads up against the trees. And that's gonna. And King David was prophesying of this. The Book of Songs is very heavy. It's not just songs. That's how cold we are. We singing. King David singing songs, but speaking about prophetic times that's going to apply thousands of years in the end days. That's how cold the Most High made the Israelites. All praises call Elohim La Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai to be a part of the chosen nation. Let's see. Revelations 12. Right there, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. That crown, because we're that represents a nation. The nation of Israel. 12 stars. That's the Israelites. We're the true stars of the earth. Of all the nations, we're the stars. And that sun and moon, that represents the law, statutes, and commandments, because that's the light. Proverbs 6:23, I believe, the law is a lamp, and it was a light. And it's instruction, guide our feet. We're the only nation with the light upon the earth. So, verse 3, and there appeared another wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads. That 7 heads goes into the foundational empires of the Edomites that they will have. The Greeks, that was their beginning of the world, of their foundation, the world superpower. Because the so-called white man language, all of its different languages today, French, Portuguese, English, everything goes back to the Greek and the Latin. The Romans spoke the Latin, and that was the derivative of the Greek. So the Greek, the Romans, the Spaniards, Spanish, Spain, France, Germania Major, Germania Minor, all of Europe areas, and then Great Britain, and then America came out of that little horn. America came out of Great Britain. So those are those 7 heads. And that little horn is continuing a little space, a little season, and that's America, because America isn't that old. But so right here in verse 10, and I heard a loud. Let me see. No, verse 9, I think. Yeah, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan. See, that old serpent, that great dragon is that old serpent. That show you, and we just read the dragon right here. We just see who the dragon is. That red dragon is Esau, Edom, the Romans, the Greco-Roman Empire. So the Most High tied it all together, but you have to have a spirit to be able to see it. And the great dragon was cast out. And who is this old dragon? That old serpent. What old serpent? And that lets you know what serpent is. It's the old serpent, because that was from the very beginning. And in these times, 2,000 years ago, when John the Revelator wrote this, he was referencing the old serpent from the beginning of time, during the time of Adam and Eve. So the Roman Empire was cast. The Romans, the modern day Romans, it's the so-called Americans and the so-called whites everywhere, right? And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent. That same spirit in that serpent is in the spirit of the Edomites today. Called the devil. Why? Because he's a slanderer and deceiver. He slanders and deceives everybody, making them believe that the Israelites are the wicked when he's the wicked. Even the northern kingdom, Esau has brain polluted, and make them hate the southern kingdom, because the northern kingdom, so-called Hispanics, Latinos, they really have, a lot of them really have a disdain and hatred for, for so-called blacks. They look at us as, a lot of them have the same spirit like Esau, They all have bowed in that way, unknowingly bowed their knee to Baal and taken on his image, his philosophies, but that's the 2/3. The 1/3 will not feel that way. So that old serpent called the devil and Satan. Satan means adversary, adversary and adverse to what? The Holy Scriptures, the commandments. Everything is pushed that's of Satan, that's opposite of the Most High here in Babylon the Great, and throughout the four corners, which deceiveth the whole world. See, the devil, means deceiver. He deceived the whole world. Everyone think that we're the bad guys when actually we're not. We're the hated chosen nation. That's always been like that throughout all the scriptures. And looking and you'll know who the Israelites are today just off that alone, right? You even just knowing that the ancient Israelites were hated by all nations. Look at the nation today, the people today that are hated by all nations. That's the Israelites, so-called Black Latinos, Native American Indians. And Satan, which deceiveth the whole world, and he was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. That was that temporary discharge. When he went up into those caves and during the Dark Ages, so-called Middle Ages, right? Before the Renaissance period, 1,000 years later, after they fell in Rome, 300 A.D. But this dishonorable discharge is going to be permanent now, coming up. As it was prophesied, he will be loose a little season, and we're at the end of his little season. Call hello Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai B'Hashem Echad Kodash. So we'll go back to Baruch 32, verse 32. Miserable are the cities. We'll read verse 31 again. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. See, they rejoice at our fall, and they are confederate. That's why they have the United Nations. That's them rejoicing at our fall and keeping a crafty counsel against us, keeping us hidden from our identity. They'll never tell us. They never suffer our dead bodies to be put in graves. Our spiritually dead bodies, they never put us to bed. We wander around not knowing who we were for hundreds of years, but now we are now awakened now. In verse 32, miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons. They took us, and they have it, and they we're in their hands unto this day. And throughout the three corners of the earth, four corners total. Africa, Europe, Asia, and the Western Hemisphere over here. So now we'll get Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, 38 and verse 8. We'll start there. Of such doeth the, oh no, hold on, am I doing this right? Oh, let me get, okay. Verse 1. Honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which ye may have of him. For the Lord Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, hath created him. So this is going into a herbalist, a natural healer, getting the herbs from the earth and healing that way. Like you all may know about Dr. Sebi. He cured cancer through herbal remedies. The only man to ever do that. And then he defeated the court case that he had against him. They tried to sue him into the ground so that they can destroy his natural healing, because the medical industry didn't want him to continue his healing, his natural healing, because it would begin to he would get that following and it would hurt their pockets. And so he beat the court case, and he used the Holy Scriptures about the herbs of the field. That's our fruit and that's our meat, in healing. And so he used the Bible for that, and he defeated, and he won that case. So these natural herbalists, so the Most High say honor a physician because the Most High created him, right? So we take advantage of him. We don't trust upon, the medical industry. We pray to the Most High first and foremost, and pray the Most High guide us, to a natural remedy if we need it, right? And that's what it's about. Verse 2, for the Most High for of the Most High cometh healing. It's only from the Most High, even though that physician, he come up with the Most High guide his hands and give him the wisdom to know how to put these herbs together. And the healing come from the Most High when you have faith. First and foremost, in the name of Yahushua. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. He's honored, and respected by all, because of his skill the Most High blessed him with, because not everyone can do that. That's a very special skill. Verse 3, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, because not in pride, but, he can be, he can walk around with honor, And in the sight of great men, he shall be in admiration, from the greatest to the least, everyone have great respect for a man and know how to naturally use the natural, be resourceful, basically, right, with the natural herbs in the earth. Verse 4, the Lord Yahweh hath created medicines out of the earth, and that's the fruits and vegetables. And he that is wise will not abhor them. So if you're being very unwise and foolish if you don't, have a proper diet and use certain things to cure certain ailments that you may have. Any ailment in the earth that we have, the Most High has that's why the Most High has such a variety of fruits and vegetables. It's amazing. And we use them to be able to nourish our bodies, to purify our cells and our blood and purify our blood. Get rid of the dead cells and the infected cells through the fruits and vegetables and the water. So, but Esau, has he done that? No. He created his own left-hand side stuff, right? And that's why he's part of the reason why he's the dishonorable vessel of the earth. Revelation 9:21, he's done this instead. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. And you get this word sorceries here. The use, right here, see this Greek word G5331, pharmakia. That's where you get the word pharmacy. So pharmacy means goes back to pharmakia, which means sorcery. So that's what this medical industry is. The medicine is sorceries. That's why the logo for Walgreens, I mention multiple times, the Walgreens logo, it's a big pot with a spoon stick sticking out of it. That's a witch's cauldron. So right, it says the use or the administering of drugs, poisoning. So that's what that's doing. Sorcery, magical arts often found in connection with idolatry and fostered by it. So metaphor, deceptions and seductions of idolatry. So basically, it's basically going into idolatry. That stuff there, There's certain things, that doesn't say, that there's certain things that you may need to use, that they have at the doctor's office or, to get prescribed. But you use some of those things, but not all those. But most of those things you stay away from, like antibiotics. If you have an infection, you may need to clear up some infection. You got to go ahead and take that, So certain things that you can go ahead and use, but not all of it, Don't get crazy with it, depending upon that, because that's the Most High smite you for that, right? I believe there was a king that he got injured and he sought like some doctors, some other men for help, and not the Most High. And the Most High was upset with it. I don't remember the whole story, but I think the Most High had ended up allowing that disease to take over him and kill him, I think. I got to double check on that. Or maybe he prayed into the Most High for forgiveness and he forgave him, I think. One of those two, I got to double check. That's a story I vaguely remember in the Old Testament. But it's all about having faith and praying to the Most High first and foremost. And then having that guidance from the Most High in the name of Yahushua. So those sorceries, Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. You see, we read in Psalms 137 and 7 through 8, O daughter of Babylon, eat them. So this is what he's talking about. Sit in the dust, meaning sit down from your rulership. The Most High is going to knock the Edomites out of their rulership. O virgin daughter of Babylon, sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, because that's that sorceries of the Edomites. With the pharmakia, pharmacy, and the little hats with the so the sorcery with the so-called healing, and then the sorcery with the media, Hollywood, and TV, and the music. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Everyone thought, this place was the dream, American dream, the land of opportunity, just a land of deceit and of innocent shed blood, and the enslavement of people that never did anything to them. Verse 3, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, thy shame shall be seen. That's that dishonor. That dishonor is going to come upon them. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. And that's the Messiah speaking there. That's the Messiah. Because we know that the Hebrews 10:7 and Psalms 40:7. Yahushua said, I'll come in the volume of the book. It is written of me. And so when he returns, he's not going to meet them as a man this time. He's going to meet the Edomites as the conquering line of Judah, in his full glory, to lay down all the heathen rulerships and take their crowns. And that's why he's the King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Man. Verse 11. That's the greatest honor any man, that walked on this earth can receive, sit at the right hand of the Heavenly Father. Man. Verse 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. See, since 2020, all these things have been rapidly occurring, and everyone is wondering, like, what the heck is going on? Just not too long ago, thermonuclear war was an afterthought, and now everyone can see that that's what's coming. It's been a very quick, sudden change and shift in everyone's thoughts and belief, which thou shalt not know. Verse 12, stand now with thine enchantments, and that's going into that pharmakia, right? And with the multitude of thy sorceries, and as part of that is the medical field and the Hollywood and stuff, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. They always been occupied in that wickedness on the left-hand side under Satan and not the Most High. If so be thou shalt be able to profit, if so thou mayest prevail. Verse 13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. They believe it or not, they're very stressed out, with all of the lies and new plots and plans they got to create in their think tanks and put forth. That's the only way that they can stay on top is by never-ending perpetual lies and deceit and wickedness. That's a weariness of the flesh. It has to be, All we have to do as Israelites is sit back, relax, have patience, and keep the commandments and have faith in Yahweh and Yahushua and the Holy Spirit in the name of Yahushua, and we good. And we'll rule the earth for eternity and have a perpetual righteous name in the earth. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators, they be staring at the stars, Once they worship the creation more than the Creator, the Most High. They're children of fools, the children of base men. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. That show you what's going to happen. That show you that this is leading up to thermonuclear fire and destruction. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. Though they dig into hell, they're still going to be destroyed. The fishers turn hunters, the teachers and prophets and elders, turn, the 144,000 of the elect with the Messiah going to pull them out those holes and those doomsday bunkers. Behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. They're going to be destroyed. Thus saith the Lord. Thus saith the Holy Scriptures. In the name of Yahweh Shah. So now we go to Wisdom of Solomon. Chapter 3 and verse 8. They shall judge the nations and have dominion over the people, and their Lord shall reign forever. And who's our Lord? Yahweh Shah. So we're going to judge the nations under the Most High Power Yahweh, under the Messiah Yahweh Shah, in the name of Yahweh Shah. Verse 9. They that put their trust in him shall understand the truth. We trust the Most High, the wise virgins, the hopeful elect. And we trust in the Most High and not man's hands. And we understand the truth. The Most High is going to execute judgment in the earth. And such as be faithful in love shall abide with him. And how do we love the Most High? By keeping his commandments. Loving our brothers as ourselves. And that's how you fulfill the law. Because you won't lie to him. You won't commit adultery with his wife. You won't steal from him. You won't murder him, right? So for grace and mercy is to his saints. And he hath care for his elect. See, that's the elect, the 1/3 elect of Israel. You see, his grace and mercy is to his saints, but chiefly, ultimately all Israel, but chiefly right now, the 1/3 elect. Those are the ones the Most High is going to cover and protect in the name of Yahweh Shai in these last days. Verse 10. But the ungodly shall be punished according to their own imaginations, and that's Esau, trusting in his own hand and his own mind. That's why he's so proud and bragging and boasting about the Iron Dome and all of that. That like they're impenetrable, because that's their own hands. They trust in their own hands. They're the ungodly, the Edomites, the dishonorable vessel in the earth, which have neglected the righteous and forsaken the Lord, Yahweh. So they've forsaken us, the righteous, the Israelites. They have us in oppression constantly, perpetually. And they've been forsaken the Most High Power Yahweh when Cain left out of the garden. All the way now through his descendants of Esau to the Edomites, the children of Esau. Verse 11, for whoso despiseth wisdom and nurture, he is miserable. And that's Esau. He's miserable. He departed from, he despised it, and he departed from the garden, and it reaches all the way through his seed, through the Edomites, his grandchildren. So he is miserable, and their hope is vain. Their hope is that Russia won't shoot those missiles, and his allies. But that's going to happen. Their hope is vain. They doomsday prepping and all this, is pretty carnal and weak. But we just thank the Most High that we're fortunate enough to have the hope to be protected in these times and beamed up when those missiles get shot off. Their labors are unfruitful and their works unprofitable, because their riches are cankered or cancer, they're cancerous. Everything they're doing is for naught, because it's going to come to pass. It's going to vanish. Verse 12, their wives are foolish and their children wicked. You just look around. These women are whores. They dress like prostitutes. As soon as they get hot, what they do? They they get damn near naked and wear clothing that's very, shameful, because those are underpants they be wearing. those tights, and they be wearing those shorts like that too. And then when it's cold out, they just wear those leggings that's real tight as well. These women are very wicked and foolish, and their children wicked. And they raise their children to be the same exact way. Here it is. Here it is. I see my neighbor have her daughter in those little. She like, man, this kid about 5, 6, 7 years old, and got her wearing the little tight shorts the same exact way like she wear. Man, it's a terrible place. We just need salvation out of this evil, wicked, filthy hellhole, this nightmare. Verse 13, their offspring is cursed. Wherefore, blessed is the born that is undefiled. We're born because we don't have a homeland. We're not in our homeland, and we're just destroyed over here. And we're undefiled, and that's the Revelations 14, 1-4, I believe. The elect that wasn't defiled with women, meaning the philosophies of the heathen women, heathen nations, which hath not known the sinful bed. And that's that wine of fornication, of the philosophies of the whore and the heathen nations, which hath not known the sinful bed. She shall have fruit in the visitation of souls, in the last days, when Yahweh shall return. Verse 16, as for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out. You see, that's that dishonorable discharge coming soon for chiefly the so-called white race. Verse 17, for though they live long, yet they shall be nothing regarded. Like one of those Rockefeller guys or Rothschilds that just passed away, the wicked elites, they be living to like 80 something, 90 years old. They live long lives, but their unrighteous bed is going to be rooted out, and they're the representation of their whole nation. Verse 17, for though they live long, yet shall they be nothing regarded, and their last age shall be without honor. You see, that's that dishonor that they have because of the shame of their actions and wicked deeds. Dishonorable discharge. Verse 18, or if they die quickly, they have no hope, neither comfort in the day of trial, and that's the great day of judgment. So if they do die, early, they still have no hope because they are the wicked. They are dishonorable vessels. Verse 19, for horrible is the end of the unrighteous generation. So, and we know we're in the last days. This is the last generation. This is the most wicked generation in the history of mankind. And we'll close out with this old classic, 2 Ezra 6-9. For Esau is the end of the world. That's when he get dishonorably discharged. When the Messiah returns, that's that vision of that statue of Daniel in the book of Daniel. When that stone carved without hands, when he smote the foot of that statue and it came crumbling down, because that foot is the feet of iron mixed with miry clay. And that's the iron from the Roman Empire being revised in America today. In these last days, the feet represents the end of a body, right? The body of the reign and rulership of the heathen nations in Earth's existence. And so the Messiah returns at the foot, during the reign of the foot part of that statue, the very end. And then that clay is clay is weaker than iron. Those are the allies, that's cool, reigning over the Israelites with the Edomites, the so-called white race. So, verse 9, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So, verse 10, the hand of man is the fate of mankind is betwixt or between the heel of Esau and the hand of Jacob. Other question Ezra asked thou not, because whoever's in rulership between the Edomites, the so-called white race, and Jacob, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native American Indians, that's the vibration. Either the vibration is going to be on the right-hand side, righteousness of the Israelites, or the extreme, or the left-hand side, the extreme wickedness of the so-called Edomites. And the other heathen nations, the Asians, Arabs, Africans, so-called Africans, the Hamites, they follow, Samoans, Hawaiians, all the heathen nations follow the vibration of either the Israelites in righteousness or the wickedness of the Edomites on the left-hand side. So, he is about to be dishonorably discharged out the earth for eternity. Hope this video is edifying. The water to the Rachak Dash Basham Yahushai for another video. To the next video I say, it's Shalom.